Hey, so this is a list we pulled off of Twitter. We've got Nasus that gets bigger. This basically turns into a They Who Endure who gets Spell Shield, so you can eventually throw it at their face with Atrocity. We've got Kindred here that gives you a touch of interaction as you slate things on the board. Pretty good stat line, and it attacks. So attacking seems really good in this format. All of the mid-range decks I've been playing feel real bad, so hopefully being aggressive feels pretty reasonable. Yeah, as the card pulls deepened, the polarization on the matchups has felt worse. So I don't know. I'm struggling, chat. I'm struggling. I spent like 3 hours off stream last night trying to play different things on the iPad, and most of them felt kind of mediocre.
See what we see.
I'm trying real hard to find something I like, but it's just not. Nothing's clicking so far. And then the other part that's kind of intimidating is I kind of like it's so like multi-deck tournaments are such a challenge to play. Like, so there's a Riot Grand Prix for League Partner Program members next weekend, and I'd like to put in effort to find decks that I could play in it, but like playing a triple deck tournament is just so much work. Like having to find not only one deck that I love the play patterns of and can learn how to play, but having to find 3 decks that I want to have fun with feels really challenging.
Always forward.
Yeah, that's what it's felt like to me, Ghosted. I think that's like a super accurate summary of like kind of where I'm at. It feels like the Lysandra gameplay too, especially. It feels like the format's turned into a lot of funky combos. It's like combo and aggro decks. It feels like they've moved away from the combat system being the focal point of the game, and I haven't enjoyed that. All of the types of decks that want to like go long and be kind of grindy, tiny edges decks just get savaged by 6 different combos.
Stand down. Destiny calls. It is time. Shurima is sand and sky, past and present.
Yeah, and like, you know, like this game, right? Like, I believe that Nick Make Plays had a really good run with this deck, and I believe it was good, but like, a game like that, I just like didn't really have any meaningful choices, and like, I just like, they did their thing, and my thing wasn't good enough. We just like kind of ran past each other. Yeah, Azir's looked like a very, very good linear champion. Azir has looked very impressive in the games that I've seen it play out. And there's a few different variations of Azir. There's Sundisk versions that level him quickly. There's the Demacia versions. There's some SI versions. You probably play with Hecarim too. Our linear starts very good here. We get to go Bark Beast into this, into Rite of Calling, the Ephemeral Draw Champion, trigger Bark Beast. Opponent is playing a Noxious Shurima aggro deck here. Okay, that's sick. So we get to have 8 power on turn 2. Oh, this was a mistake. I should have played this first, right? I'd much rather this be vulnerable than Bark Beast. Sequencing error here.
The desert by my side.
This could have had the vulnerable instead of this. Although I guess they probably just don't trade. It ends up being the same anyways. It's probably mostly a wash because this is going to trade for this regardless.
Always forward.
Oh, that's really weird, because this isn't a place trigger, it's a summon trigger, which should mean it has to be in play, right?
You cannot hide forever, Nasus.
That feels a little unintuitive to me. That's the other thing I've learned. I've felt from this expansion too. I felt like a lot of the way, and this is, you know, and this is like not, I don't know if this is a fault of Runeterra so much as like how my brain works from other card games, but like basically every interaction in this set that I've like, okay, intuitively, how do I expect this interaction to work? It's not worked at all how I've intuitively expected it to work. Like that's another good example of the Sandstone not impacting the Doomkeeper and impacting the Sand Soldier. If you ask me, Jeff, how does this work without seeing it? I would have no idea how it worked.
Everyone's a garden.
Our linear game plan's looking pretty good here. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, Swift. And that's the other thing too, right? Like, stuff like that is like, well, I'm pretty sure that's a bug. Is it? We have no idea. we can't know until Riot puts out a statement.
As I live, all will die.
My 6-mana 9/9 sounds great. Nasus doing a great They Who Endure impersonation here. I got my Atrocity all rolled up here too. This game, my linear deck is being a little bit stronger than my opponent's.
I was not so mercy. I will not grant it. You'll suffer as I have, Nasus. I suffer to see you like this.
Yeah, like decks like Diana Nocturne, I feel like are like the super, are like the super ideal style decks to have. I describe those decks as aggressively slanted mid-range decks, and they're my favorite style of deck to play in card games generally. They're decks that have like a scotch of interaction. Really? Are we attacking this into my nest here?
Turn to dust.
We're gonna do that? We're gonna make me a 10/10? I mean, I'll do it. I'll take a 10/10. So next turn I'm gonna have 10 total mana, so I can play this and then Atrocity them.
I hope that was not.
Judgment awaits.
It's a backup Nast too. He's gonna level if he strikes here.
Like me.
Yeah, we want to attack first, because if he levels, he gains spell shield, and then they try to pull the trigger on their removal there, and then we kill them with the atrocity. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that spell shield, they who endure plus atrocity is pretty good. I'd buy that for $1. I have not played any games with Jarvan yet, no. We play this on 1 here, and then we go. I was gonna say we do this into Raida calling on 2. Yeah, we started with that deck this morning, and we just got dumpstered by Aggro 2 or 3 times, and I was off it. It's just not fast enough.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
Feels bad, man. I think last night's session that I uploaded to YouTube with that deck was a good example of, hey, my new deck looks sweet against other people playing sweet new decks. My deck's not actually good though. It's definitely what it felt like. Oh yeah, my title is what it is. Fading icon here.
A tribute to the Spider God.
That egg, did it move?
Skitter out from the
Even this deck the opponent's playing is likely another high roll combo deck, right? Like, they're probably playing the new PNZ card with the 9 drops Ledros to like OTKU on turn 9.
Please, I have connections.
Yeah, the other thing too is like I feel like I could like all of the mid-range decks I've like tried to put together feel like they're just bad versions of Twisted Fate and Aphelios. And I almost feel like I need to like put my brewing of mid-range on hold because we know there's changes coming to Twisted Fate, right? Like maybe we can work with the Aphelios because that card has had changes to it already. But the slow rate of response on patches is not felt. On balance changes is not felt great. Oh. Well, shit.
We could use a bite.
Embrace life.
Expect death.
Shall we, dear wolf?
I'm ready, little lamb.
Smooth as silk.
We do not linger.
Oh, now this is marked. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we're winning games with this, but they're just not very interesting. Like, it feels like these games feel like 80-20. Like, we're getting skunked or doing the skunking. It's just like kill or be killed. I think we just have to full mulligan here, looking for the bottom of our curve. I miss. I wish I could click on the board, chat.
What's that noise?
I just desperately want tactile feedback from clicking on the board.
See what we see.
Oh, yes. She does our visitors.
Dopamine, please. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I need to attack here because Azir's a 1/5.
Spears ready.
If I'm forgotten, then no.
Yikes, I gave them an 0-1 to eat. Alright, sick. We got visitors.
All right, let's mess some folks up. Here we go.
You have to get me out of here.
Well, Nasus is growing up here, chat. We go ahead and just play the Dune.
The land obeys.
The Dune boy out here. Then I get to put this here so these slay each other. Let Nasus get up to these killing each other counts to 8, right? Yeah. And now I get to go ahead and Kindred into Butcher kill this.
What's that, lamb?
Something soon forgotten, dear wolf.
Maybe I wait on this and just glimpse here. I don't really want to attack with this turn, right? So Kindred, when we slay something, it marks their weakest unit, and then it kills that at end of turn. And someone else, this is something I actually hadn't thought about, but this is something similar to what I talked about with other things, where this is another champion that it generates value without ever having to get into combat, right? And I feel like these are some of the most dangerous designs in Runeterra. These designs where you skip over the combat step to generate value. Yeah, there's Runeterra is free to play. I have a how to get into Runeterra video here on YouTube, but their in-game tutorial is very good as well.
Time to get rowdy.
We're letting me level Nas?
Spirit is hollow.
Deal.
Be still.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
A good hunt.
One to remember us by.
Never stops.
And now this is leveled, and they're sand soldiers. Yeah, just I mean, this deck seems very good. It's just like, here's my thing.
Fortitude outlasts all things.
What's their name's description in chat of it turned into a "this is my dopamine game" feels like a good descriptor. Honestly, the animations have gotten better. Like the level up animations from this most recent expansion are like insane off the charts. They're really good. We're attacking on even. This makes Blighted Caretaker kind of suck. So the Prime Suite trips. Welcome to the channel this morning.
Reach the king.
Do I Dune Keeper to keep this from attacking? Probably not. I think I'd rather have the Sand Soldier next turn.
Where are you?
Moving.
Please, I have connections.
I have connections.
See what we see. Always forward.
How do you decide when to pass and bank mana? So the skill that Runeterra often tests really well is understanding who's the beatdown. And what I mean by that is you often want to be passing and burning your opponent's mana when you ask yourself the question, who's favored as this game goes along? Is my opponent's deck more favored, or is my deck more favored? That's the key question you want to be asking yourself. And if you think your deck is going to be more favored as the game goes along, you generally speaking want to be taking as many passes as possible, because more passes elongates the game, and if your favorite as the game goes long, that's good for you, passing and elongating the game. Now, when do you know when your favorite as the game goes long? That takes a lot of experience. So you gotta learn matchups. You gotta know, like, okay, in this current match that I'm playing, how does my deck line up against theirs? And that's where practice and experience comes in. But the fundamental question you want to be learning to ask yourself as you're doing that is like, okay, and even then too, not only that, but like, what's the current board state too, right? Like, if I pass here, am I ahead on board? If you're ahead on board or at parity and you want the game to go long, that usually means you want to take your passes. I don't really have great attacks into these, huh?
Sand and blood.
Might have been right to do this pre-combat. Huh? Spirit Leech sounds kind of sweet, because I can drop Kindred next turn. I think that's the play. Get to bank some spell mana here. We get to play Kindred plus hold up Glimpse now.
For justice. For Demacia.
Yeah. Garen with Challenger's real scary. I'm gonna take this pass here to see if they want to... So, now I have a decision to make. I can glimpse this now and deny Garen the strike, or I can play Kindred and glimpse this post-combat to get the Kindred trigger. And I think I'd like to give this the strike, so that way I can get Kindred to happen here.
Got the other.
Opponents only got 1 mana, so they can't disrupt this. And then we're hoping to draw a 1 or 2 mana unit, so that way I can play play a unit and then play one of these to crack that unit, and that's perfect.
Stay resolute.
Yes,
We have guests.
Raise the banner. Lift our spirits. We stand strong.
They have a rally here, we're in a lot of trouble. They don't have a rally, Kindred levels, and we're in a pretty decent spot next turn. Alright, no rally. Runeterra is the most gorgeous digital card game that's ever been made. And it's not particularly close.
Fight for your king!
Do we just spirit journey this to kill and revive it? I think that's probably the play, right? Keeps Kindred alive. I could kill and revive Garen, but that means Kindred dies, right?
What is waiting?
Death on a smaller scale.
Atrocity into atrocity is lethal. I feel like that's ambitious. Maybe it's right though.
Ours is but to do and die. Press the advantage.
Their Garen is leveling here, which is a real concern.
They will.
I mean, you're right, Precipic, that there's a load of good aggro decks in this set.
Everyone's a garden.
I agree with your assessment that there are infinite good aggro decks in this set. What an atrocity. Do you have another one? Nobody wants to see Kindred no more. They do have another one. Rats. I think we've died, huh? Yeah, feels like we're dead. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? Like, it's tough. It's tough to like the other thing about like what's going on in the format is you need to know that like the decks we're playing against, like nobody, like there's been like a gentleman's agreement so far on the ladder that like nobody's playing the good decks. Like there's been no TF Fizz, there's been no Aphelios.
This land is ours.
Here we have guests.
I think the only time, like I said, I spent all of last night flipping between different streams, and I think the only time I saw Twisted Fate Fizz lose was when the person playing it missed onboard lethal.
We weren't expecting callers.
Fight or die.
As I live, all will die.
Yeah, I feel like we could chalk some of that up to growing pains at Lapton. Like, I wanna give them a chance and see what they do with a little bit more of it. And we'll see how this format develops too. I think it's definitely early to judge this current format too harshly, but so far it feels like a little bit more of what I didn't care for from last season as opposed to less of it. Well, this is almost up to a
I was feared once, just as you are now. What's that, Ren?
Something soon forgotten, dear wolf.
Pain is nothing.
You'll get what all my enemies
Dunk.
do. A quick death. You are my brother, Renekton, not my enemy.
I'll slumber.
Yeah, I agree, Trudon. We're definitely playing with half-completed stuff, right? Is a touch awkward to a degree.
Everyone's a garden.
See what we see.
Let's do this to start. If we find something that slays something, we find the O2 or the 3-2. Still take Spirit Leech down the line. I think I'm just playing this other Bladed Caretaker out because it gets this to 10. Like, obviously, I'm not getting good value off of the saplings here, but getting this to 10 lets him level.
We'll tear right through them.
Gonna leave these back as chunk blockers.
Show them our teeth.
So the big difference in my mind between Twisted Fate now, what a nice Sajani, oh gosh, wow, I punted that, holy shit. I need to put Nasus last, yeah, okay, got it. So we'd have leveled him if I'd have put him last. The troll chant wouldn't have mattered and this would have died. Big punt on my part, not used to playing with this card. We're talking at the same time. The big thing in my mind that really put Twisted Fate over the top in this latest expansion is the fact that they leverage blue card better now than they did previously. That's the big change, I think, is the new Twisted Fate decks use blue card much better.
They're saplings.
And what those decks using blue card better means is that Twisted Fate isn't really when blue card is the option you want to pick with Twisted Fate most often, it is... When blue card is the card you want to pick with Twisted Fate most often, Twisted Fate stops being a 4-mana champion. When you want blue card, Twisted Fate's a 3-mana champion, is the reason why it's so good, in large part. Alright, so... I think we start just by attacking with this, right? Now let's Kindred, so that way if they block, we get to eat something.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys. This too shall end.
Happy Thursday, Thrin. Yeah, and he's not a 4-mana card that needs to draw 8 cards to level. He's a 3-mana card that needs to draw 3 cards to level. Yeah, I think you take the spell mana off his blue card and you make him harder to level up. You put him to 9 or 10 and you take the spell mana off the blue card. Is the easy change. We do... Actually, you know what? Playing this might have been wrong, because I played this, I die to a vulnerable spell now, right? They do not have it in there, dude. Alright, so almost lost that game because I misordered with my attackers to not level my Nasus early. Ended up pulling through though. Nice. We get to go Beast into Icon into Rite of Calling the Prey attack for 6 potentially. I mean, the explore the early parts of a format tends to be interesting in most games. So you should definitely, if you're having fun, that's great. Card games are fun, and new card drops are the best part, the best time around most card games.
Take you.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a little bit sad because I think I've come to the conclusion that Runeterra competitive just isn't for me. And like I wanted to like competitive Runeterra a lot, but it's just like the types of ways I enjoy playing games. The more I've played multi-deck formats, the less I've liked them. I'm definitely like, as someone who is known as the Life from the Loam guy and then the Kiki Chord guy, I'm definitely the type of person who like enjoys taking one deck and learning the ins and outs and playing it well, and multi-deck formats just aren't conducive to doing that, right? Like if I wanna play a Runeterra tournament, it's not just as simple as finding one deck that clicks for me. I have to find 3 decks that don't overlap that click for me, and it makes it really hard to play the game. You know, it's like I've often described my stream structure as competitive casual, and it feels like multi-deck formats make it impossible to be competitive casual, because it's like impossible to play a little bit. I think I'm just playing Kindred and trading for this, huh? Is that true? It could just be right to play this too. I guess if I played this, they just hook the O1 and then crunch me for a bunch. What's a multi-deck format? Runeterra tournaments are, you bring 3 decks to the tournament, and you see your opponent's 3 decks, and they get to pick one of your decks to ban, and you pick one of their decks to ban. And then you play matches with the other 2. And, like, it's kind of neat from a theory perspective, and, like, if you're super invested and have a ton of time to play, it's, like, a sweet format. It's just, like, really tough to, like, be a little bit invested and be able to find decks for that. I don't even know that I'd argue it's good for viewers, TDM. I think multi-deck formats are better at hiding poor balance, but I don't even know if you could say that at this point, because, like, look at the last seasonal tournaments, and, like, Aphelios and Twisted Fate were everywhere, right? Like, if you look at the 4 regional tournaments, like, Aphelios and Twisted Fate were in 80+% of lineups across 4 different tours. So, I don't know. I would argue a better way to have variety is just to, like, have more things be viable, as opposed to, like, forcing people to play multiple things because they have to, as opposed to because your people should want to play more things. Glimpse is definitely really good here against Fiora, so we'll keep that one. We'll get our expensive slow cards. Yeah, but I mean, and I guess this is what it comes to Precipic, is, like, I'm not even talking about, like, super spiky competitive stuff, right? I'm talking about, like, you know, things like Myhoglandia tournaments, for example, or other things like that, where they're like, I can play a tournament just for fun, right? Like, part of the reason why I enjoyed tournament Magic for so long is I just enjoy the competition aspect. It's not about winning or giving myself even the best possible chance to win. I would like to be able to, like, even just, like, things like F&M, like, yeah, so you can't overlap champions between your lineups, is how it works. Alright, so I'm gonna eat this, and then this is gonna trade with Fiora, because this will level up. So this exchange ended up pretty good for us.
This will be quick.
Protect House Law.
I've been playing some Mythgard again, both on and off stream, and they don't currently have a sideboard format, but it's on their roadmap, which has me excited.
Oh yes, she does our visitors. All natural skill, all natural goes. You will remember this day.
Well, so, like, the thing is, if you, like, look at the recent tournament that they had, what's the word that I'm searching for? People split up Twisted Fate and Aphelios. BW Panda, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's the thing too, like, when they first started the multi-deck format, I thought I was enjoying it from the perspective of, like, there was strategy in what I wanted to ban. Each round was a decision on what I wanted to ban, and it feels like the current way things play out is, it's not a decision that I make, it's just, okay, these are the decks I auto-ban because I don't want to play against them. If that makes sense.
It's fast now.
It knows.
Sure. Yeah. You can never beat my Kindred. Good game.
More ahead.
So, I think it was Petrify, someone that I follow on Runeterra Twitter, commented that Kindred is the best Shadow Isles champion. If your Shadow Isles deck isn't playing for Kindred, it's probably built wrong. And honestly, the more I play with and against Kindred, I'm really inclined to agree with that. And like I said, I feel like these design of champions that generate value from the bench are just so scary. I feel like both are there. Let's as a question. There's Twisted Fate. There's Aphelios. Are there other cards in Runeterra that generate value just sitting on the bench? I think Lysandra Trundle Control is very good.
See what we see.
Misfortune. Okay. I don't know that I put, so Misfortune requires other things to get into combat. You could argue that this is semantics, but Misfortune requires other things to get into combat. Like some of these cards like require things to enter combat in order for things to have happen. And like Maokai, for example, has an incredible requirement to get going, right? And or Aurelian Soul costs 10. Trundle lets you control things, but Trundle again at least requires things to enter combat.
There you are.
Oh, did Maokai get a nerf? What was Maokai's original text? I think Maokai's current iteration is very, very reasonably balanced. I mean, Twisted Fate Kindred is probably absurd. I would, so for a long time, actually talking about things that are absurd, I would bet go hard. I would bet go hard with Kindred as the second champion is obscene. Like, there long wasn't a, this is the second champion you want to play in Twisted Fate Go Hard. Yeah, I mean, that archetype was very good last season still anyways. And like now it got like, this is a very good upgrade. It's another card that just hangs out and generates a ton of value for you.
I was feared once, just as you are now.
Just as you are now.
Something soon forgotten, dear wolf.
I was feared once, just as you
Something
are
soon
now.
forgotten, dear wolf.
Tear them apart.
Okay, they have a glimpse. Glimpse is very good here. Lets them trigger their Kindred and stops mine from triggering. No, Kindred's mark is only one per turn. It's a little aggressive, but I think I like it. I have a Vile Feast, I just get savaged. Single combat's also not great for me.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
Yeah, their Kindred is leveled now. What? Say that would be an incredibly bad play. that would let me kill this and kill their Dawn Speaker. You should probably just pass. Kinda. So when you draw a champion that you already have in play, they turn into a spell in your hand. So you can't cast a second copy of a champion. However, you can cheat a second copy of a champion into play by doing certain, like, roundabout things. Why does my ordering matter there? Can you explain? Speed One, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the channel. Good morning.
By the strength of our convictions. Words move hearts and armies.
Oh, when they slay their thing with the Kindred mark, they get it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're gonna be on Runeterra. I think I'm about ready to play some Magic. I'm gonna play like one or two more games. I don't know. This deck just hasn't felt very interesting. I haven't felt like any of our games have been close or interesting. They've all been giant swings. Gosh, Shurima Fiora is probably pretty sweet. You could probably use the Shurima Allegiance card with what's it called consistently? The priority system in Runeterra. The priority system in Runeterra takes some getting used to, but other than that, if you have other card game experience, it's not too bad. Hey, what's going on, Maddie? I hope everything is going well with your newfound home ownership. Hey, I appreciate the offer, Sped. I'm just not super into limited in Magic. Magic's limited formats just really aren't for me. Low powered cards bumping into each other isn't really my kink.
I must get out of here. No.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Outriders, that's a Borderlands-esque game, right?
This will be quick. Let them eat slime now.
Shooter, looter, yep. I think I'm actually supposed to let this happen, because I think our way to not die here is we're supposed to like do this, and then we're supposed to like Kindred, use this with Kindred to like get a slay onto here.
Embrace life.
Expect death.
It's a good motto, chat. Embrace life, expect death. Hey, Quiet Kieran, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is how I makes my mark. Go fish. Well, this is super greedy. Do they have a third single combat? If they don't have the third single combat, we get to destroy them here. Do they not have the third single combat? Did we just get them? They should definitely have single combated my Kindred there. Alright, well, we should have lost this game, but our opponent decided to take the ball and punt it across the field.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
Yeah, opponent definitely got... Opponent definitely super greedy here.
Let them eat souls. Try me.
One to remember us by.
Okay, and now we just start my turn by... We start my turn with this to mark the Fiora. They're actually almost just dead here too, right? We've got 11, 13, and this is gonna kill this. Yeah, so we should have lost that game. If our opponent isn't greedy and tries to single combat my 1-1 and they just kill my 4-4 Kindred, we just lose incredibly hard. I think you're gonna have a huge selection of good Kindred decks, BJ Roth. Card is very, very good. What's going on, Seagal? Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Kindred, I think there's a good chance Kindred is like Twisted Fate of Felios levels good. start's very good here. I get to go ahead and play Cursed Keeper into Rada calling Cursed Keeper.
See what we see.
No blocks. Go to 16. Yeah, that's basically what we're playing here, Roth. Yeah, the outright kill versus strike is super powerful. Unfortunate to not have a turn 3 play here, but our start overall was real good, so hard to be too upset.
Push back the darkness.
I haven't felt like I've had a lot of good sequencing decisions against Kindred. A lot of the times it feels like my opponent puts Kindred into play, and then I can't interact with it, and then I die, because it just takes over the game. It feels very similar to a Felios and Twisted Fate in that instance. That just like sits there and kills me. You must! Come, little one! Magnimus, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to the channel this morning. Mazhira, thanks for the follow. Good morning, good morning. The scout creatures are very good with cards like Emperor's Diaz.
What's that noise?
My favorite board game. It's so hard to pick just one. I'm gonna try Kismet. I spent a bunch of time off stream last night playing Runeterra stuff.
Connections!
Oh gosh. Lucian's gonna rally here, isn't he? Been around since the Forcing Tron in Legacy. Thanks, I appreciate you dropping off the Prime. Forcing Tron, that takes me back. Forcing Tron in Legacy. We've done some silly things, chat.
Oh, fresh soil.
Always forward.
The problem is, like I said, they're gonna rally and get another attack token here. I have plenty of chump blockers, I guess.
We're gonna need more coffins.
that egg?
Did it move? Yeah, Emperor's DS, I agree, is a card that I was a bit off on the total power level of. Definitely much stronger than it looks on the surface. Alright, so what's the goal here? Draw Atrocity for Nass?
We stand in the footprints and paths long trodden.
And a long path to get here.
That's true. Leveled Nass, if I attack with him, they get to rally, but rallying doesn't really do much because leveled Nass is going to take all the attack off of them, right? So I think this is fine.
Never stops turning.
Cithria gives it back. I guess that's true.
Doubt. Return to dust.
Look upon me.
He's big. He's big boy shit. Gonna kill Cithria over the level Lucian? Maybe.
To Moss.
The desert by my side.
He's a thick, thick monster, chat. Nass who endures? Yeah, basically.
All unmeasured.
Soldiers, to me!
Alright, so I need to go wide here. It's pretty good at going wide.
If I'm forgotten, then no. They forgot. You
Oh, this is ephemeral. I'm dumb. We gonna die now because I messed this up?
Don't hold back!
Now we're okay, right? These are only 3, so I get to go. This here.
Time's done.
Oh, this can't block here, right? Going to 1. Then do a combat trick. Alright, so I can't... Oh, I can play this, because even if this is a rally, they don't have a thing, right? This is fine. I guess they could have... No, even another Cithria doesn't do it. And we kill them on open attacks. This too shall end.
Patience and fortitude outlast all things.
Hey, Dream. Radane's my new favorite card. She's way better than I expected. Yeah, she's sweet. Yeah, something to give Nasus Overwhelm could be kind of cute. Like I'm mulliganing these, looking for 2s and 3s to fill curve off of the Hapless Aristocrat. None of these are very exciting.
What's that noise? I must get out of here.
Opponent's playing Mono Elise or Mono Kalista. Yeah, your champions have experience attached to them now, and they get cosmetic things as you play with them more. Kind of neat. Yeah, champion mastery is what they call it in the technical term. One of those are the Bladed Caretaker I wanted for Christmas, chat. So that's a good pickup, though. To run back the play they just made here. Playtime, boys.
The desert by my side.
Go ahead and rate the ephemeral here. Fine treating these two, so we'll take this attack. Yeah, Runeterra is easily the most visual appealing card game that exists. From a graphics animation perspective, it's second to none.
Everyone's a garden.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This is what we were hoping for. We get to trade some slays here. It's actually super unfortunate that we had 2 Nasus in hand and we drew a champion, and the champion that we drew was the 3rd Nasus. We were 75% to draw Kindred.
Keep your distance.
Get me out of here.
Nasus gets bigger every time we slay a unit, so he's about to be Xbox huge. Okay.
There you are.
My jury's kind of out, Shade. I haven't found a deck that really speaks to me. GG!
Everyone's a garden.
Yeah, I don't know, decks like this and decks like Azir Lucian, like they're like neat to show off on stream. I just like don't They're like, decks like these, like, aren't the reason why I play card games, if that makes sense. Like, I play card games to, like, feel smart, and, like, decks like these are definitely good, but, like, they're not like when I wake up in the morning and go, yeah, that's what, I'm super excited to log in and play that. Like, it's, like, neat to play for a little bit here and there, and, like, do a session with it.
The wheel never stops turning.
Oh, and this levels and then shrinks their attack. Ha! That's so good. Alright, so they're just super dead, right? I have atrocity, plus I have a rated negation to kill them. Yeah, like, I mean, like I said, like, this is obviously good. It's just like, alright. Yeah, it doesn't flex my, like, I play card games as like a pseudo-intellectual exercise, right? And like, while it's like therapeutic to like play a deck like this sometimes, and it's neat, it's not like, I'm like, yeah, doesn't really hit me in the feel smarts. I mean, for Glimpse, we're definitely mulliganing Atrocity. I mean, to be fair, Frel Overwhelm doesn't really fit into that category either. Frel Overwhelm was just like a deck I was playing in that pick band set because I had to find 3 decks to play. Thanks for the follows, Monster Killer and Mr. Gianni. Welcome to the channel this morning. Yeah, I agree, Vortal. The partition, the way the partition sets play out in practice, I don't know that I've been a huge fan of how it's worked out exactly.
Everyone's a garden.
It's like we have to like hang out for 4 months to hit full priority on the power level of things. I think we're just opening attacks next turn, right? We just like open, they probably don't block. We play this to draw 2 post-combat. Oh, they are trading. Deal. They have +3/+1 here. They're gonna spend to kill my 3/3.
My name will echo through the ages.
I guess something to consider here is, I think I actually don't want to do this because I kind of want a Kindred plus Glimpse next turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and just Stalking Shadows here. Yeah, I'm going to take the pass.
Together we are part of something more. Together you are children of Shurima.
Alright, so Azir is probably going to level on this attack, I imagine. If they attack now, they're summoning 2 more. They get 1 from this, and they get a Shark Chariot. So you just need to play 1 unit here to level Azir.
Together we are part of something more. Together you are children of Shurima. Arise! I have risen. and weaken Shurima. Your commands.
Foolish.
But they're saplings!
So if I do this, we end up like this with the mark on here, which sounds good. I guess this is awkward if they have the +3/+1 combat trick, which seems like a card they're likely to play. It could be right to not block here. Just only block these two and take 2 more and play around that combat trick. Oh. Well. I was about to do this and this. And then we drew Nas. Nas's leveled mode, giving things -1 attack against the Sand Soldier decks is real good.
This too shall end.
Morning, Fuji.
The expanse of eternity stretched out before me.
Okay, so I definitely want to do this, because if we draw Atrocity, they die. This also marks this and levels my Kindred.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
Yay! Go fish!
One to remember us by.
They who endure, but we don't have Overwhelm, we have Spell Shield.
Break their ranks.
Your race is a turn too slow, opponent. Actually, if I just like block like this, do they even kill me? I don't even die if I block like this, right? I go to 6. They weren't even just a little bit too slow, they were way too slow. I like the little locust flying around their attack from Nasu. Good attention to detail. Alright, what if instead I killed you? Raid.
See what we've seen.
Oh, that's the ephemeral one. They really need a... The fact that the ephemeral cards in your hand don't have a glow like the fleeting cards is really annoying. Gets me so often. Definitely needs an interface improvement. I guess we do this and then Bark Beast levels up. They're dead to opens theoretically, right? Do I play around a combat trick here? I feel like the answer is no. We just try and smack them.
No fear.
Come, the journey ahead is long.
They weren't expecting callers.
We're gonna try and peel to our second atrocity here now. All right, we hit a bunch of cheap blockers. That works too.
I'd raise 1,000 soldiers to fight for Shurima.
Empires are built on ambition and servitude. The desert by my side.
There's a graphical bug with, what's it called in this patch? The new Shurima counterspell that leaves the spell stacked in the center here is what you're seeing. Anybody wondering what this atrocity is doing here?
Or peace.
We just kill the Azir, right? If we kill the Azir, I guess these are giving them extra attack. It doesn't really matter unless they're getting... Honestly, this is probably wrong. I'm probably supposed to hold on to the... I'm probably supposed to hold on to this until they play something scarier. The fact that you can still mouse over the atrocity makes the graphical bug extra funny.
Destiny calls. It is time.
Your time is done. To get me out of here.
Keep your distance.
Alright, and then they're dead to open attacks again, right? These games had good attacking and blocking in them. Credit where credit is due.
Patience and fortitude outlast all things.
This archetype seems fairly reasonable. I feel like my one thought on it at the end is that Rite of Calling felt a little bit awkward. I feel like in most instances, I would rather this Rite of Calling had just been another Ravenous Butcher. So like 4 of this sacrifice something for free seems like a fine number of this type of thing, but I feel like I would want more of these. One thing I feel like, I guess I'm not sure what I would trim for it, but one thing I'd kind of like to see tried in this shell is Baki Reaper here. Whenever you slay a unit, grant me 1 extra attack, and this has Fearsome. This is, in a lot of ways, this is very similar to more copies of Dark Beast, I feel like. Like with how quickly your Nas ramps up, I feel like this could be okay. Like maybe Stalking Shadows is unnecessary. I didn't really feel like I was needing the card advantage from this a lot of the time. Like we have both Glimpse and Spirit Leech as ways to generate card advantage. I also wasn't entirely sure I loved the right of negations in the deck. Like the fact that Nas has Spell Shield when he levels up, that made this feel kind of redundant. We notably didn't play against any Ruination decks. I'd probably be pretty happy to have this card against Ruination, so maybe it's worth keeping in there until you play against some of the Shadow Isles style control decks. If you missed any of that set, we played for almost 90 minutes. It'll be up on the YouTube channel this evening. I'm going to go ahead and shift gears over to some Magic Arena for the rest of the stream today. We're playing, I'm playing 2 different Magic Arena Standard tournaments this weekend, so I want to get some more reps in that format, so I'm well prepped. Is there also a Magic Queue? Not really. So the stream, for people that haven't kept up on what I've been doing with my content stuff recently, I'm not taking a ton of viewer deck submissions anymore. So most of what I'm playing these days are decks that I'm picking out.